I did try a 5k at 3 p.m. one Friday in August time, and it was like 46 degrees. I still completed it in a decent time, to be fair, but it's not something that I would recommend doing regularly. It really did take it out of me. I think at one point my heart rate was up to about 196.
Bloody hell, that's crazy. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast Chatzzz. And we have a very, very special guest today in Dubai. Stephen, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Adam.
No, it's all right, yeah. So, how long do you reckon we've known each other now? Over 2 years?
More than that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon it was probably about 3 years ago. I think I first reached out, and it was just coming to the end, obviously, of the golf season in the UK. And I think we had an initial chat then, and we kind of penciled it in to touch base come the kind of March, April time when the golf season was kicking off again. And I think that's when, so about like 3 years, March, April, where we done the first content shoot.
Yeah. How did it come about? Did I message you on Facebook? I remember it was definitely Facebook. Or did you message me?
No, it was me.
Oh, you messaged me on Facebook? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'd seen your content and stuff, and yeah, it was a bit intrigued. I knew I needed a bit of help with that side of things to take things to the next level. So yeah, I had seen your content, then reached out.
Yeah, and here we are. Crazy. That's actually mad to think back.
Time flies, absolutely. Crazy.
So I prepped you about 10 seconds in the lift on the way up. But one thing I didn't actually prep you on is, how would you introduce yourself for the first time? Like, say if you're meeting somebody for the first time at an event, or you were a taxi driver or an Uber driver was asking you, like, who are you and what you do, what would you say to them?
It depends when it's been, to be fair. Because things have changed, obviously, over the last year or so, a few times. So yeah, that depends when it's been. So if you were to ask me now, then obviously I always do mention the ecom business, that I've had that for, it'll be like 3.5 years now. Always mention the DJing, which I'm passionate about. That's always been a kind of hobby of mine over the last 10 years or so. Back when I was in the UK, as I said, it was a hobby, got me some pocket money at the weekend. But now I'm in Dubai. I've tried a few things since I've been here, which not quite have worked out the way that I'd potentially liked it to, or I thought it was going to. So now the winter season's kicked in with Dubai. A lot of places have opened back up when they close for the summer because of the heat and stuff. You've got more yachts running, boat parties, things like that. So I've started to pick up gigs, and I'm trying to turn that focus of it being a hobby, we're just earning some pocket money, to turn that into a more full-time thing.
Yeah, nice.
But previous to that, then back in the UK, I was a joiner to trade when I first started off, and I left school. Done that back and forth a few times throughout the years. Went between that and kind of sales in various roles.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, you probably moved to Dubai at the worst time, didn't you? April, as soon as it was getting hot.
Well, there's two sides to that coin. Basically, now it's coming to October, almost November, the temperature feels great now.
Yeah.
So I get flung in at the deep end, and people say if you do that, then you appreciate the winter months a little bit better. Whereas if you come in the winter months, you get accustomed to that, then it gets warmer, and you can struggle a little bit more. So I really enjoyed my time in the summer. People who that have been here for a while tend to go maybe travelling around Europe, go home to the UK for a period of time. But that's 7 months straight that I've been here now, and I enjoyed it. Like, I was still lying by the pool at the weekends, still getting my runs in the morning. I did try a 5k at 3 p.m. one Friday in August time, and it was like 46 degrees. I still completed it in a decent time, to be fair, but it's not something that I would recommend doing regularly. It really did take it out of me. I think at one point my heart rate was up to about 196.
Bloody hell, that's crazy. One thing I did prep before in the lift, though, was 3 facts about yourself.
So 3 facts about myself. Yeah, I've been thinking about that when you told me literally 3 minutes ago. So yeah, moved to Dubai 7 months ago. I've not had a drink of alcohol for 20 months now. And also I am training to be a shred-fast athlete and instructor.
Yeah, interesting. So let's talk about the 20 months, and then I'm sure we'll talk about the Dubai and the shred-fast thing later on.
No problem.
I did actually slightly before, but what was the main reason you stopped drinking? What was the catalyst, would you say, for you?
So pre-lockdown, pre-COVID, I done a couple of summers in Ibiza, 2018, 2019, where I was DJing. And DJing's one of the very few jobs I feel like that goes in hand with drinking. So literally you turn up to venues and you're getting asked, what do you want to drink? They're bringing you shots over. They're sometimes handing you a bottle of vodka behind the deck. So that was the norm. And like I felt when I came back that winter, back to Scotland, and I was DJing at the weekend, was probably just kind of chasing that same kind of cycle in the life that I had in Ibiza. But then when reality hit on the Monday morning and I was having to go to the building site, when it was raining and snowing, then yeah, things were very different. So I just live to the weekend, working all week in that kind of job, and then just, couldn't wait to go out at the weekend and kind of forget all about life's problems. So you could potentially argue it was like an escape mechanism at some points as well. But I was always full on. I was never that guy to go for a couple of pints from a dinner and then go up the road. I always fantasised about that, but that wasn't never the case. And so if I was out, I was out. And if that started on a Friday, it would generally end on a Monday morning. And I just felt as if when I got older, the hangover started getting worse. Like I wasn't back to feeling 100% to potentially the Wednesday and Thursday. Trying to get to the gym, paying memberships, not getting to the gym, which things that made me feel good. And then obviously lockdown and stuff happened and everything closed. So at that point where I was forced to have a break from DJing, if you like, and I got some time away from the partying and the drinking, and started to feel a bit better. Started to get in a little bit of running during lockdown as well. That made me feel a lot better. And then after that, when things started opening back up again and started going back out, I just felt it wasn't the same. And I'd maybe go out for a weekend, let my hair down, and then I'd maybe go a month, 6 weeks without a drink. And then I would go out and hit it hard again for that weekend. And I'm like, I don't miss this. But I kept it going for a couple of years like that. And then I just feel last 26th of February last year, I woke up that Sunday morning after a heavy session on the Saturday. And there was just something inside me that clicked, I think, and just felt like, right, I don't want to feel like this no more. I'd been travelling around Bali that Christmas and New Year for 3 weeks, and I was drinking heavily every day. And I came back and I said I was going to give all my focus into the business, hammer that side of things right up until October, and basically to the end of the golf season. But that lasted to the 26th of February, so it was like 2 months. And it just didn't make any sense because it just felt like I was making some good progress, and then going out one weekend and it just felt like I was getting back to square one again. So yeah, something inside me at that point changed, and yeah, I've not had a drink since.
Yeah, it's an amazing story, isn't it? Everyone has their own personal journeys with that kind of thing, and I feel like it's becoming more and more common, isn't it? But I haven't spoken to one person that said they've stopped drinking and then regretted it, or it hasn't been a life-changing thing for them.
No, that's the thing. I mean, even like you don't wake up on a Sunday morning and go, oh, do you know what? I really wish I went out last night.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like for me, as I said, I was rough for days, riddled with anxiety. So it just didn't make any sense to continue to do that to myself. Do you know what I mean? Where I feel my output and everything's so much better and more proactive. I do things that I could only dream of doing in my 20s when, as I said, I was living for the weekend. But listen, when you're younger and stuff, like I'm not gonna like slate drinking, and if MD can do it and have a nice balance, then fair play. Do you know what I mean? But for me, I got to that stage where that wasn't possible. but I don't regret any of it because it's some of the best times of my life. Do you know what I
Memories that
mean?
last forever, yeah. same.
But I lost a lot of time to it as well. Do you know what I mean? And so yeah, here we are. As I said, 20 months and enjoying it.
Yeah. Before we go on to the next topic, do you get the question, will you ever have a drink again or not?
I feel coming to Dubai and obviously meeting loads of new people, still meeting new people on almost a daily basis, and it is quite a common question. But I feel it's not quite potentially as frowned upon as much in Dubai as what it potentially is in the west coast of Scotland.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously
I'm seen as a weirdo.
yeah, it's a big drinking culture. But listen, I was probably guilty in the past. I maybe worried about what people thought. Do you know what I mean? But you need to put yourself first, and you've got your own. People have got their own reasons why you're doing it, and if it is something that you're thinking about, and then I would encourage you to go for it. Maybe not forever, but for a period of time, see how you go on and take it from there. But yeah, it's a question I get asked often, and I just explain like I've not got a crystal ball. You can never say never.
Yeah.
Just take it a day at a time.
Yeah, that's right.
And see what happens. But I don't plan to because I've had too many good things happen from since I've stopped, and I feel much better about myself mentally and physically. So I don't really have any reason to go back to it, because probably one of the people that if I did done it once, then I'd probably be wanting to go back out the next week and stuff again. So especially with Dubai, there's loads of things to do here.
Every day, every night, isn't it?
But more so there's loads of things to do that you don't need to go out drinking.
No, definitely.
Whereas this time of year in the west coast of Scotland, when the weather's miserable and stuff, people are just living for the weekend. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Nice. So then let's go back to our little Stephen then. What were you like growing up? What would like parents say about you, or any first memory and that kind of thing? How would you describe yourself when you were growing up?
Very, very active. Loved my football when I was younger, and tried several different activities throughout like career school years and stuff like that. I wasn't really one of the kids to be sitting in for hours upon end on a PlayStation and stuff like that. I was always out and about playing football. And then as we kind of get into the teenage years, like probably being up to stuff that maybe we shouldn't be.
Mischief.
Yeah, mischief. Like to carry on. At school, probably known as a bit of the class clown. I was quite loud and liked to be centre of attention, to be fair. Yeah. But yeah, very normal upbringing. When my mum and dad were together for the first 15 years of my life, we were always going on family holidays, generally twice a year. My little brother, he's 5 years younger than me. We fought like cat and dog for probably the first 15, 16 years. And then once he got a bit older, we built a really good relationship, and he's more than a brother to me now. Treat him as a best friend. So yeah, we got on great. But yeah, had a great upbringing. No complaints.
Yeah. And what did you want to do, or what did you want to be when you were growing up? Was it just a footballer, or anything else in particular? Anything you can remember?
Can't really remember, to be honest.
Yeah. Just chilling, just enjoying playing.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it too much.
Yeah.
I just kind of was going through. So I didn't like school. I knew as soon as I was able to leave school, I wanted to. And it just so happened at the time when I was leaving school, there was an apprenticeship became available as a joiner, with a gentleman that stayed in the kind of same estate as us. So that just kind of sort of happened. It wasn't as if that was my plan.
Yeah.
Probably in the back of my head was looking to get a trade of some sorts. My dad was very kind of hands-on type guy. He was an electrician to trade, and he worked as an aircraft engineer for years and years. And he was always doing stuff about the house, could do a bit of everything, joinery, plumbing, electrical work. So yeah, probably always had in my mind. But it wasn't quite easy to get an apprenticeship at that time, so I was quite fortunate. But if there had been a plumbing apprenticeship available at that time, or an electrician, then I would have done that as well.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah. And then, so after you did the joinery apprenticeship, what were you kind of thinking? Because I know obviously the econ business started, and that was obviously quite a bit down the line. But then, did you start DJing in between? Was that something you did always? Or
so
how did that slot in?
When timeline? I was doing the joinery apprenticeship, it was during a very difficult period in the UK. So it was like 2000 2007 to halfway 2000 to through 2006, sorry, to about 2010. And it was there was a recession then. So
Oh yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah.
it was quite difficult. I had to go through a few different companies to actually finish my apprenticeship, because there was a few that I was with that were running out of work and weren't able to keep me busy enough. So I had to do a bit of floating about, and I eventually got my apprenticeship finished, and then really struggled to hold down a job, because like a lot of house builders and stuff that had maybe planned to build, then that kind of fell through, and then you were applying for jobs. I've just finished my time. There's loads of different things you can do in joinery. So there was some stuff that I hadn't maybe had much experience in. So a lot of time as an apprentice, you're a glorified labourer.
Yeah.
There was, I think there was 6 months I was just carrying plasterboard up into flats through East Kilbride. So
cheap labour.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, it was very difficult, and I kind of I was struggling to hold down a job. I was maybe getting 2 weeks work here, subcontracting 2 weeks off, 3 weeks here, blah blah blah. Because there was also guys that are applying for the same jobs that maybe get 20, 30 years experience. So obviously they're going to get it. So yeah, and then another thing kind of happened. I got offered a job down south, just outside Blackpool, through a friend that I had not long met at that point. And yeah, it was on a holiday park at one of the haven sites. So yeah, I went down as a caravan salesperson down there, just something totally new. Again, similar to joinery, just kind of right place, right time, fell into it. So yeah, packed up my bags and moved down there just when I turned, I think just after I turned about 21. Yeah.
How long were you there for?
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years. Then I came back up to Scotland and moved to one of the holiday parks that was local. And yeah, spent a bit of time there. And then there was a few people that I knew that started working offshore on the oil rigs. Right. And that was probably something that I had in the back of my mind. That either 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off, kind of rotation was something that really appealed to me. So the other 2 jobs I just kind of, as I say, I fell into. But that was something that I thought, I think that would quite suit me. So during my time working as a salesperson, then I went and done my offshore survival course and started applying for that. And yeah, I got a job with that. So that was 2013, about halfway through to 2013. And then there was a bit of misfortune with that as well. So similar to the joinery, where we halfway through the apprenticeship, we went into a recession. There was a big oil crash that hit in 2015, which meant the need for the amount of oil rigs in the North Sea was getting massively reduced. So a lot of them were getting scrapped. But I managed to hold on to my job for another couple of years. So yeah, about 4.5 years in total, and then get made redundant.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I went back on the tools. But obviously that was a lot had changed in the economy then, and the building trade had picked back up then. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so you flipped about a few different careers and different jobs, different skill sets, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm quite guilty for that. Potentially getting my feet in the ground and doing something for a long period of time. But as I said, there's a few unfortunate circumstances out with my hands during the time, so that was kind of forced into things. But yeah, and similar to my days partying, I don't regret anything either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then, how did the ecom business come about then?
So I was a very keen golfer when in my teenage years. Used to play during the school holidays and stuff. Used to play 2-3 rounds a day. Absolutely loved it.
Yes.
And then once I kind of started 17, 18, started partying and going to Ibiza and things like that, I kind of fell away from the golf, because the weekends consisted of going out and drinking, and golf with hangovers just doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. So yeah, I'd fell away from it. And when things started to open back up after lockdown, golf was one of the first things
You could do.
that you could do, really. So, yeah, I got back into it and instantly fell in love with it. And at that point, yeah, I was back playing a lot, and I felt as if me and the lads I was playing with, because you're playing consistently, like, I always loved a fresh glove, but they were expensive. You're paying 18, 20 quid for a glove. So if you're playing 7, like, around a day and then going practicing, like, potentially changing it every week so you could keep a good grip and stuff. So, yeah, I followed a lad on Instagram, Scott McClure, that had a few e-com businesses, and then he was setting up like a training program, if you like, where you paid for a course and he gave you a blueprint of how to basically take an idea and get everything set up. So, yeah, invested in myself. And during that period, it was a 90-day course. So I was getting up at like 5 a.m. in the morning. You were roughly spending about 20 hours a week on the course. So because of the cost of it and the time that was involved, I said to myself at that point, and I think that was the kind of longest period that I first glimpse of sobriety that I had. So for that 90 days, I didn't have a drink and just wanted to give my everything into setting up the business to stand me in good stead. So, yeah, that's where the idea came about. And yeah, Scott was great. It was a great help. It really fast-tracked things. I reckon if I would, like, not having any much knowledge or a background of that kind of stuff, then I would eventually have got there, but it would have took probably 3-4 times longer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was good.
Mm. And then, so that's been going on for what, 3.5 years now, isn't it? The golf gloves.
January 2022 is when I started doing the course, and then just for the golf season starting in April is when we launched.
Yeah. What was it like when you launched?
Yeah, it was good. A lot of local people were getting behind it. A lot of pre-orders were in, and yeah, it was exciting. Mm. Yeah, something that I was proud of as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Especially with the name and stuff behind it. So,
yeah. I'll tell everyone the name. You haven't mentioned the name yet.
On the green.
Yeah.
OTG Golf Gloves.
Didn't somebody comment on like one of the ads the other day or something saying like, what's the name about? And you said, oh, it's like a play on the owner's name, green on the green. Did you see that one or not?
No, I'm not sure.
No, yeah. Right. Somebody was saying like, oh, that was it. They said something like, oh, why is it called on the green when that's the one place you take the glove off or something? And then it's like, oh yeah, it's a play on the owner's name.
Yeah, that's the thing when you do the paid ads, you're sometimes leaving yourself open for a bit of a slagging.
Sometimes or always, yeah. People have always got something to say, haven't they?
Yeah, that's it. That's the joys.
Yeah. And then, so let's fast forward to moving to Dubai then. So, had you always wanted to move to Dubai?
No. Obviously, the glimpses that I had of staying abroad in Ibiza, then I loved, like, living in the sun. That's obviously lockdown happened and that changed everything. I was actually supposed to go back to Ibiza in 2020. I'd paid for deposit in the apartment and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So over the course of the winter of 2019, going into 2020, then a lot of DJs, probably similar levels to myself, then came over to Dubai at that point. Mm. So I would be very surprised if lockdown hadn't happened, if I'd went back to Ibiza in 2020. I reckon there's probably a high chance I would have came here then, because after the summer in Ibiza, then the winter back in Scotland was
not good.
No, not good at all. So you're just counting down the days basically to get back into the sun. So after doing that, I reckon I would have been potentially inclined to come and give that a try then, but it never happened. And fast forward 4 years, an old school friend of mine had got in touch with me last June, like 2 weeks before his wedding, in the Amalfi Coast in Italy, and asked me if I wanted to go over and DJ the night before the wedding, and then also at the kind of after party after the band had finished at the night of the wedding. So yeah, I managed to get time off work and I jumped at the chance, and it was like, and it was great. And then I went over there, and he had lots of friends from Dubai that he'd met over the years, and I got speaking to quite a few different people from various walks of life and things like that. And they were telling me how they'd moved from the UK to Dubai and how much they were enjoying life, etc., etc. And yeah, from then, that's where the interest kind of sparked again, if you like. And I thought, yeah, give it a shot. I almost pulled the trigger and moved last November time without coming and visiting, but I put it off and came on holiday in January, New Year, for 10 days, and just to check it out, and instantly fell in love with it. And yeah, 4 months later, we were over. We moved in April. So yeah, that's been 7 months now.
Yeah. I mean, how did you land on Shredfast Athlete at the moment?
So when I came over to Dubai, I had a job set up in real estate. There was quite a few people with caravan sales background that then come into real estate, and it seemed like a sensible transition. Again, it's not something that I regret, because like, I feel as if I had to give it a shot, but I found out pretty quickly it just wasn't quite for me. So hats off to anybody that's got the patience to stick it out, and those that do really well at it. But yeah, I just wasn't quite enjoying it. So the company that I was with were great as well. Lux Follow really looked after the staff, and they done a corporate class on a Thursday. So every Thursday morning before going into the office, he would go and do the class, and used to put a message in every Wednesday. And like, for the first month, I was like, no chance, that looks brutal. Like, how hot and stuff it looks. And I'd never really had any experience with kettlebells at all. But yeah, as time went on, I thought, do you know what? Go and give it a shot. Had been going to the gym quite consistently since I gave up drinking. So I thought, yeah, let's go and try something new. So yeah, went and gave it a shot. And after the first workout, it was very humbling, but also really enjoyable as well at the same time. And started going more and more. And there was also another community, great community. So We Are Sota. They put on a free class for their members of the community on a Tuesday. So for the first little while, I was going on a Tuesday and a Thursday, which was a big help for me as well, because obviously I wasn't earning, real estate was a commission only role, hadn't sold anything yet, and these classes were complimentary, so I got my foot in the door. And then, yeah, as time went on, got a membership and started kind of going 4 or 5 times a week. So that's been for the last 4 months, and really enjoyed it. And then, yeah, just seen a video that the owner Luke posted about 5 weeks ago now, saying about people potentially unhappy with their current situation. But there's loads of different options out there that you can make things happen. You can invest in yourself, and I've done that previously with the e-com business, and that's something that I'm excited about for long term. And yeah, I arranged a call with the relationship manager just to find out more information, how it all worked, etc. And yeah, I was offered a place in the programme, and here we are now.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So I've been doing it for the last month.
Yeah, you're posting really consistently. I think content's good, isn't it? And it's just, yeah, it's motivational, inspirational. And I think me just looking at you from when I last saw you in March, April time, you lost so much weight and look in so much better shape, and you must feel so much fitter because you look so much fitter, isn't it? And yeah, I'd be excited for you to do the training and complete that. That'd be really cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so like for me, posting consistently and stuff, like the messages I get from people that maybe struggling a bit and stuff, to receiving thanks from them to say, oh, you've gave me the motivation to go get back to the gym. It's the best I've felt in years. Just, I don't think you can put a price on that, do you know what I mean? So I'm excited to obviously get qualified and then go on and hopefully get some clients, take some classes, do some one-to-ones, and pass on what I've learned and get other people feeling the way that I'm now feeling if they're potentially not where they are, where they want to be at the moment.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? Yeah, I bet that's really, really nice that people feel comfortable reaching out to you, doesn't it? And value your advice, basically, and just thank you for putting out some really positive content, because, yeah, it's a great thing to do for sure. What would you say one piece of advice you would give your younger self if you were starting out again? Maybe I don't know, leaving school at 16. Stephen, leaving school at 16, what's one piece of advice you'd give your younger self? Tough question.
Just trust that everything happens for a reason. Because if I was probably guilty in the past of me thinking certain things should go that way, and if it doesn't, it was like the end of the world. Why has this happened to me? But yeah, life's a journey, and it can be rocky. It's not always plain sailing, but everybody faces issues. Everybody's got their own story, and yeah, just remain calm in tough situations and shrug things off and say, like, everything's going to be all right. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get too caught up in it. We all have our bad days. At the end of the day, it's just a bad day. It's not a bad life.
I think that's a great piece of advice. Yeah, very, very good perspective for sure. And yeah, and where can people find you, follow you, get in contact? Because obviously we've got the DJ bookings in Dubai, isn't it? Season's open. I see you getting a few more gigs now and again. Everything's open, which is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, really excited with that. So
one thing we haven't mentioned is you DJ at Ocean Beach, didn't you, as well, recently?
Yeah, last September in Ibiza. That was really good. So I was over for one of the brands that I played with in Scotland, Street Rave, and yeah, managed to tie in a set at Ocean Beach and Ibiza at the same time. So yeah, that was good. Yeah. So as I said earlier, DJing, it's a massive passion of mine. It went hand in hand with partying for years, but I enjoy it just as much, if not more now, sober, because I can remember everything. And that was one of the things that put me off the drinking that I never mentioned earlier. Like, every time I was drinking, I was blacking out.
Yeah.
And that's not a good feeling. Do you know what I mean? So now going, like, no matter what I've got on the next day, I can be out DJing to 1, 2 a.m. if that's the kind of later sets that I'm on. And whatever I'm doing the next day, I know I can still make it. Do you know what I mean? So that's a good feeling for me. So yeah, put a post up yesterday. Actually, I've got like 14 gigs booked in between now and the end of the year, which is only 8 weeks. So that's encouraging. Things are starting to really pick up with that. I'm sure it'll pick up more. So yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah. And where can people find you, get in contact?
Stevie Green DJ on Instagram.
Yeah, for the DJing and fitness pages.
Yeah, Stevie Green Fitness.
Yeah, nice. Easy to remember. Yeah. Right, everybody, thank you very much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like the video, comment your favourite part, and subscribe. If you listen on Spotify or Apple, make sure to follow the podcast and leave a 5-star review, and see you next time. Bye.